Our sun, the heart of our solar system, provides light and energy to sustain life on Earth. But did you know, it's constantly changing? And those changes affect everything, including us. Let's start with what we know about the sun today. The sun is a medium-sized star, about 4.6 billion years old, and it's currently in what we call the main sequence stage. During this time, the sun burns hydrogen in its core, producing the energy that we receive as sunlight. But like all stars, our sun won't stay like this forever. Changes are already happening, both in the short term and in the distant future. The sun goes through an 11-year cycle of activity known as the solar cycle. This cycle affects how many solar flares and sunspots we see. During periods of high solar activity, known as solar maximums, the sun releases more solar flares and coronal mass ejections, or CMEs. These bursts of energy can cause geomagnetic storms on Earth, leading to spectacular auroras, but they can also disrupt satellites and power grids. We are currently approaching a solar maximum, which means more flares and solar storms in the coming years. Solar flares and CMEs can have real impacts here on Earth. You might be familiar with the beautiful auroras that appear near the poles, but did you know that severe solar storms can also knock out power grids and damage satellites? Back in 1859, a massive solar storm known as the Carrington event caused telegraph systems around the world to fail. If an event like that happened today, it could cause widespread communication and technology disruptions. So what about the long-term changes to the sun? While the sun is stable now, it's slowly getting hotter and brighter over time. In a few billion years, it will exhaust its hydrogen fuel and enter the next phase of its life. When this happens, the sun will expand into a red giant, likely engulfing Mercury, Venus, and possibly even Earth. During this phase, the outer layers of the sun will be thrown off, forming a planetary nebula, leaving behind a dense core, a white dwarf. Although this is billions of years away, it's a reminder that stars, even our own sun, have life cycles. For now, the sun remains stable, and the solar changes we experience are more of an inconvenience than a threat. However, as our technology becomes more dependent on satellites and power grids, monitoring solar activity will be more important than ever. Scientists continue to study the sun, learning more about its cycles, activity, and long-term future. Missions like NASA's Parker Solar Probe and the European Space Agency's Solar Orbiter are giving us incredible insights into the sun's behavior. So while our sun is changing, it's not something we need to worry about right now. But it's fascinating to think about how those changes affect us, and how one day, billions of years from now, the sun will look completely different. If you found this video interesting, hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing space facts. Stay curious and keep looking up.